This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what you need to know today. Azerbaijan's president has indicated he believes his country can reach a normalization deal with Armenia in the next few months, even while reiterating a demand for Armenia to change its constitution first, a move that is seen as a non-starter in Yerevan. We are making considerable progress in the negotiation process. I believe we can finalize the text of the peace agreement, or at least the basic principles, within several months, Ilham Aliyev said yesterday in conversation with Canada's new ambassador in Baku. But, Aliyev added, the main prerequisite for the peace agreement are changes to Armenia's constitution because it contains territorial claims against Azerbaijan, and until this is addressed, a peace agreement will not be signed. Since the beginning of the year, Azerbaijan has repeatedly called on Armenia to remove references to Nagorno-Karabakh, Mount Ararat, and the Armenian genocide from its constitution before signing a normalization deal. In a statement last month, Armenia's foreign ministry rejected those demands, saying the country's constitution is its internal matter and calling Azerbaijan's demands an attempt to torpedo the peace process. There was no immediate reaction from Yerevan to Aliyev's latest remarks. Meanwhile, the US Secretary of State indicated yesterday he believes an Armenia-Azerbaijan peace deal remains achievable. There is an extraordinary opportunity and potential to realize a peace agreement between the countries that ends decades of conflict and actually creates in the region, I think, a tremendous opportunity for economic connectivity and for economic growth, Antony Blinken said in a speech at the Brookings Institution think tank in Washington. He continued, we have invested intensely with our own diplomacy in trying to help bring Azerbaijan and Armenia to a peace agreement. We've done that in very close collaboration and coordination with the European Union, and I think that that's something that really is within reach. I think that that's achievable. To that end, the top diplomats of Armenia and Azerbaijan are both expected to attend a NATO summit in Washington next week, raising the possibility of a fresh round of talks between Ararat Mirzoyan and Ceyhun Bayramov on the sidelines of those meetings. Neither Yerevan nor Baku nor Washington has commented on that matter. In related news, the spokesperson for Armenia's foreign ministry yesterday dismissed as false earlier reports in the local media that Armenian and Turkish officials had planned to meet today on the border for more normalization talks. In recent weeks, Yerevan has repeatedly called on Ankara to stop dragging its feet on a landmark agreement reached more than 2 years ago to partially reopen the long-closed border. Despite that deal, the border remains closed. Last month, Mirzoyan insisted Armenia is ready to completely restore diplomatic relations with Turkey. There was no immediate reaction from Ankara on the matter. In a landmark special report yesterday, the US-based watchdog Freedom House found Azerbaijan's actions in and around Nagorno-Karabakh since the 2020 war amounted to ethnic cleansing, and urged the International Criminal Court to study those violations. The documented actions of Azerbaijan meet the criteria for ethnic cleansing as understood in the context of the former Yugoslavia conflict, Freedom House wrote, concluding that Azerbaijan's actions qualify as crimes against humanity and war crimes under the Rome Statute, the founding treaty of the International Criminal Court. Citing its findings in the lack of prosecution on the domestic level in Azerbaijan, Freedom House is now recommending the case be referred to The Hague for a full investigation and possible prosecution. The report, prepared jointly by Freedom House and 6 other non-governmental organizations, marks one of the first times a major international organization has concluded Azerbaijan's forcible displacement of nearly all of Nagorno-Karabakh's roughly 100,000 Armenians last September constituted an act of ethnic cleansing. An overhauled version of Armenia's domestic violence law went into effect yesterday, a historic move that women's rights advocates told CivilNet represents a crucial step toward combating gender-based violence in the country. It marks the first time any significant changes have been made to Armenian domestic violence legislation since the original law was passed in 2017. CivilNet spoke with Zaruhi Batoyan, the member of parliament who championed the changes, and Ani Gilozyan from the Yerevan-based Women's Support Center to talk about the new law and what it means for people experiencing domestic violence in Armenia. You can find our full write-up up now on civilnet.am or through the link in the video description below. In other news, we are thrilled to announce that CivilNet today became the first Armenian news organization to join Meta's third-party fact-checking program. CivilNet's fact-checking department will be employing native Armenian language fact-checkers to review and rate the accuracy of content posted in Armenian on Facebook and Instagram. This partnership is an important milestone in fighting false news and helping Armenian-speaking users use our platform safely, Uliana Zinina, head of public policy for Armenia at Meta, told us. For more information, you can find our full press release up now on civilnet.am or through the link in the video description below. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 10 million. That's the amount in dollars that the European Fund for Southeast Europe will extend as a loan facility to Armenia's Ararat Bank in an effort to strengthen Armenia's private sector and support women entrepreneurs in the country. In a press release today, the fund said it expects the loan to allow Ararat Bank to provide more than 300 sub-loans to Armenian small businesses with a preference for women-led businesses. That could help create up to 1,500 new jobs. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.